And good Friday morning. It is 6:30 already. How are you? We're sitting at 54 as we begin our day together. Certainly hope you feel good. You've got a cup of ambition already and are ready to face the world. Had a couple. I think I'm going to have more before this is all said and done for today. So glad to have you a part of what we do. Coming up, we'll have a moment. We'll go out to Collinsville, and we're going to discuss all that's going on throughout the area. First, this morning, we've got to go over some of these national headlines that are taking place and shaping America. What are we, 11 days now? I think 11 days before the big election as it takes place. Jeff Lewis, it was so good to see you yesterday. He was out roaming the streets of Meridian. Good to see him around. Guy Coughlin, morning. Mac is up. Brian joins us. Always on duty, taking care of the pets here in Meridian. Gene? 12 days. We're really, really close. The 5th is when it will happen. Hope you'll get out and vote and exercise your right there as an American. We'll be right back. Let's get this day underway with this good word first, and we'll come back and tell you what's happening.
You know, it's natural in the heart of every person to want to impact this world, right? We want to make a difference. We hope that our life will count for something. And we often dream up all of these big ways that we're going to do that. But the Bible points us to two really simple ways. Listen to Proverbs 22:11. He who loves purity of heart and whose speech is gracious will have the king as his friend. So did you catch those two simple things? Love purity of heart and be gracious in your speech. If you'll do those two things, you'll make lots of friends and have lots of influence, and all the way up even to the king. If you love purity of heart, that means that your intentions and desires and actions, they're aligned with goodness and sincerity and truth. Your heart's free from selfishness and ulterior motives, right? You're genuine instead of fake and love what's holy. If your speech is gracious, the way you communicate then is kind and respectful. It's thoughtful. You use words that try to uplift and benefit others and avoid harshness and hurtful things, offensive language. You focus on being positive, gentle, constructive. People who love purity of heart and have gracious speech, isn't that the kind of people you want to be around? Well, yeah, of course it is. You should strive then to be that kind of person. And if you'll do that, you will make a huge difference in this world. And you might even find yourself in the company of presidents and kings. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. See, a lot of you are glad that it's Friday. Me too. Weekend is here. There's going to be a lot of events that happen this weekend. We'll go over those coming up after 7. Trunk or treats. We've got a lot of the volunteer fire departments having those this weekend. I think downtown Meridian, Saturday, they're going to be doing something. We'll give you all the details of that just after the top of the hour at 7. Won't you join us for that? I had to go to the dentist this week. How about you? When was the last time you went? It's usually an uncomfortable feeling, isn't it? You usually end up slobbering and can't talk to anybody for a few hours. As I walked out, I thought, yep, something's going to happen, and I'm going to be blah, 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 blah. But nobody would understand me. I go to Houston, I believe is where this happened, Texas. I always know your dentist. I like to go to the same one year after year so they'll know my issues when I get there. But they've made an arrest. A dentist? Well, she wasn't really a dentist. She was just doing it. Everything was great until she messed up the root canal. Somebody went to hollering and, well, she's out on bond now. She's not going to be practicing dentistry anytime soon. Seriously, how does that happen? That's something to think of. You just wake up one day and think, I want to be a dentist and go open up a thing. Years of college. And I urge extra. Study hard. If you're going to get near me, you're going to need it. Striking Boeing workers. We talked about this. Was it last week that they were on strike? I think they wanted like 40%, and the company offered 35%, and they've rejected it. I'm telling you, America can't keep handling these price hikes. Pretty soon it's just going to be to where you can't afford to fly anywhere. And all of this arises from the cost of building an airplane, to the people that direct air traffic, to the pilots. It's expensive. Can you imagine having to fly an airplane? Got to have air marshals now, too. That's another expense that used to not be a part of that. Got to have it. We're pricing ourselves out of business. Jack Smith, y'all remember that name? He's the guy that brought up the charges against Trump in the beginning. Trump made a statement yesterday. If I'm elected, he's fired. He's upset a few. Imagine that. Do you think that would happen? I do. It would most likely be legal as well. They didn't want to hear it and they're making a stink of it, but that's in the headlines of this. We have a person of interest in custody this morning. This rattles your soul to think that one of our soldiers could be killed. It happened on an Army base. The body of Sergeant 23-year-old Sarah Ruque was found Thursday in a dumpster in Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. How horrible it is. There is someone in custody. We don't know the details, what transpired, but her body found in a dumpster. Isn't that awful? Prayers for her family, because they're going to need this as they recover from this. 23, they go off. You expect nothing but the best, and something like this happens. Not what you want. Y'all remember those astronauts that were hung up there in space? Well, they finally got them back. They had to blame a lot of this on the weather, and it did. We have to think back on this. The hurricanes came through, and it was just unsafe to travel. I don't ever want to get on an aircraft that goes up and like that. It just scares me. There's a lot of people that want to be the adventurer, like in the bottom of the ocean, those little submarines. They ain't quite worked out all the kinks yet. It's just not for me. I've never wanted to walk on the moon. The Jetsons was as close as I want to get to that. Now, do y'all remember, this has been 2 to 3 years ago, Colorado, the great state, is beautiful in Colorado. Only problem is part of Colorado thinks this way and another Colorado thinks this way. And it was a group there in the northern half, I think, that wanted to get out and join the adjoining state. They wanted to break away. Now, they didn't allow it in court. Y'all remember that conversation? That did happen. You want me to tell you why they wanted to break away? I mean, really, this just rattles me. Can an elephant... A court is going to decide in Colorado if an elephant can sue to leave a zoo. No, let me repeat that. Colorado's top court must decide if an elephant can sue to leave a zoo. As you get into this, 5 elephants in a Colorado zoo could someday sue for their freedom. Really. People in the law are urging if they do this, it would not be long before cats and dogs could sue to be free.
Well, I'd like to legitimately hear their complaint.
There is no legitimate complaint on this. It's an animal. But folks, our court system is being clogged by stuff like this. If it's happening in Colorado, there's somebody else in another state that's attempting to do something that's just as hideous as that. It's an elephant. They can't talk. Oh, you can get friends with them. I'm sure they're just bigger than you. Watch what you do. We watched that in Dom DeLuise as he tried to fit that in the back of an 18-wheel. It just doesn't work. We've got to have some clear thinking in our country to stop things like this. Our court systems are too backlogged for stuff like this. It's just bad. This goes back to parenthood, I believe. It has to. We see so many broken homes, and like it or not, whether you like that or not, broken homes is what leads to years later crime. Why? Because they don't have someone in the family directing, a father, a mother, a grandmother, a grandfather. Kind of all works. And before you go there, yes, I understand that people lose family members. They do. But family is what makes America what it was for all these years. A teen, he's in a chess match. I couldn't say it right. That's a tongue twister. He loses. He assaults the person that he lost to. It's called winning and losing, and if you give trophies for everything throughout their childhood, when they get older, they don't get it that in reality, you really lose. Oh, it's going to be that way the rest of your life, from work to girlfriends to marriage to in-laws. It just goes on and on. It's called life. There's one way to work around that. It's called a old fella up above named Jesus. He'll help you through all of that, but you've got to learn there's winning and losing in life. And you can't attack somebody just because you lost. Lord help us. Let's see what else is happening here. Oh, we see that this tragedy that happened in Baltimore, the bridge. Do y'all remember that? It struck the bridge. They've been ordered now to pay $100 million in the settlement, the ship that struck it. I forget what the cost was originally to pay for the bridge, but they'll have put $100 million towards it. Will that pay for it all? I don't know. It was serious. A lot of money there. Nothing like Taylor Swift coming to town to clean up a town. Oh, they're complaining. My complaint on this is it should have been done before now. New Orleans, Louisiana. They're getting ready for a Taylor Swift concert, and I believe it's going to be at the Superdome. Only problem was for blocks and blocks and blocks, the homeless sleeping on the sidewalks and doing whatever it is. The governor broke out his ink pen and ordered them gone. They are cleaning it up. It should have been cleaned up before now, not just because Taylor is coming to town. We've got this in every small town around America. Why? People just don't want to work. Why do it? If they lay there long enough, you'll do something for them. Now, that's not in every case, and we know that. There are isolated cases where people are really trying and they become homeless for whatever the case is. But America has got to make a stand. Go to work, get up, take care of yourself. We got to do that. Let's hope that that happens one day. This case was been going on for a couple of years, if I remember right. We'll go back to Colorado. Do you remember the funeral home to where they raided it and there was body after body after body that was supposed to have been buried and it wasn't? The owners of that have finally pled guilty in court. That's a shame. You entrust someone to take care of your loved ones and they do wrong. It rattles my soul that somebody could do that. Everybody ready for Halloween there? Hazel looks like she is. John? Candy. Does the trick of if the light is off still mean you're not at home if you're giving out candy? Okay. Porch lights must be on to get your candy there. There's going to be a lot of cameras and probably yard rolling. That still goes on with Halloween, doesn't it? I think so.
I think all that's done.
Is that switched to homecoming only now?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll be right back as we'll get a new weather forecast to let you know exactly what's happening today. We are waiting for the arrival of Greg. He stopped for a snack. He'll be here in a minute. We'll get the show underway at 7. Won't you join us? We'll be right back with your weather as we start today.
When I was elected to the state Senate 9 years ago, my goal was to bring a new generation of conservative leadership to the Capitol to get things done. I'm Jennifer Branning, and I'm running for the Mississippi Supreme Court to do the same thing. I've written legislation to lower taxes and reduce regulations on farmers, manufacturers, and other businesses in Mississippi. On the Supreme Court, I'll use my experience and conservative values to always interpret the law, not to rewrite it or bend the rules for anyone.
Accidents happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see the professionals at Chet's Paint and Body. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we get into our forecast, let's take a look here as we go back for those record highs, record lows. Remember 2016? Let's see, if I do my arithmetic, that was 8 years ago. Doesn't seem it, does it? My, oh my, it was 87 today, and we're going to match that record today. We should be just about that. Back in 65, we had a low day of 29 degrees, folks. That was a chilly day in our forecast. As we look today, as we said, 87, even warmer. Columbus, Mississippi should see 88, even through the Delta down to Natchez, dropping to 84 there on the river. Hattiesburg will be a little bit warmer as well, just south of Meridian, somewhere around 88 in that Laurel area. As we turn to Demopolis, Alabama, as we scan across, 85 over at Auburn today, we should see 86 around Anniston and up around Jasper and Birmingham, 86 to 87 if you're going to be heading that way up 20. Then 65 toward Nash Vegas if you go that route. As we look at this, look, nothing cool in the deep south. This stretches from East Texas all the way over to Florida, up through the Carolinas, Georgia. It's hot as we go all the way up the East Coast. Now, which brings to mind our 7-day forecast. Here we are at 87. It's going to be identical today and tomorrow. But I want y'all to look at that forecast. Anybody see anything about rain? Well, next Thursday, there's a 10%. We got deer hunters crying. There's no rain. The sea, people are starting to want to rent water trucks. We'll get 82 on Sunday as you head off to church. A little bit cooler, 5 degrees cooler as we get into Monday. We'll go back to work at a high of about 83 and remain in those low 80s. Now, we're not going to complain about the temperatures when it's in that area. 83 is perfect. Look at these nighttime lows. Anywhere in the mid-50s to maybe 60. You can't ask for anything any better unless it was safe enough for you to raise your window and feel that cool breeze. I don't suggest that anymore. 3 padlocks. Whoops, did I say that out loud? Temps through the November the 8th. We're going to see 60-degree weather right around the corner. Y'all look, November the 7th is when it will happen, right after the election. Maybe it'll cool down temperatures as to whoever the winner is and whoever the loser is. We'll see. That's coming up. Looks like we should have a perfect day to vote, though. 78, high, low of 52, sunshine, and a 16% chance of rain. What does that tell us? It's not going to rain. The biggest chance that we've got on the forecast is going to be there around the 6th at 24%. And I wouldn't bet the farm on that. These 20% chances, remember, it's isolated area. May not happen where you live. We hope, but we're not betting the farm on it. What's happening with fishing, I didn't change the top of this. It is today, so I want to say before you go, wait a minute, that's wrong. I just didn't change the headline. So it is for today. Our major time to fish is going to be around 8 a.m. this morning to 10 o'clock. Brought to you by our friends over at J&J. Not bad. What about deer hunting? Well, we got that forecasted for you also here, and the right date on it. Here's what we've got when it comes to deer hunting today. A minor time will happen. It happened overnight. Best time to go is around 2:30 this afternoon until 3:30 if you're climbing a tree bow hunting. Average day sunrise is at 7 o'clock, 7:06 there. Sunset's going to happen at 6:10. Calm wind becoming southwest around 5 in the afternoon. That's not bad with the wind. Could hunt to your benefit. Good luck with that. Before long, at dusk dark. Boy, isn't that a great feeling? It always gets good about 5:15. You start seeing things. The older I get, the more I just like watching. You grow to appreciate moments like that. When's the last time your heart Peter-pattered? You know how it jumps when you see something big? It was great. The National Hurricane Center, and let's look at this, and then we're going to go to the map. From the National Hurricane Center this morning, this is what we've got. Nothing in the Gulf, which is fantastic. Nothing headed our way. But let's go back over to the map. Let's see what's happening toward Hawaii. It seemed like I saw something that didn't look all that great over there. Let me make sure we got the latest here as we pull this up. Hunter Meridian radar pointing out there. That's a Cat 4. Look at that. That's a nasty one. And it may just miss Honolulu. At one point, it looked like it may go that way. Let's hope it stays far away from that. But as we're sitting this morning, let's see what we got here. Category 4, winds of 150 miles an hour, gusts of 184, moving along west-northwest at 14 miles an hour. And again, it's no threat to stateside. We'll watch this. Hopefully this will stay away and it won't turn back. We'll watch it closely. But as we get into this, look here in Louisiana, you can't see your hand in front of yourself. Look at all of this fog from Houma, Louisiana, up through Lafayette as we get through Alexandria, all these areas there, back over to Beaumont where there's always construction. That's all they know how to do there, isn't it? If you've been through there on 10, you know what I'm talking about. It's thick. Even in Natchez, Mississippi, hard to see the Mississippi River Bridge this morning. Use caution through there. That's what we've got. The rest of Mississippi looks good. We got a little bit of fog as we go east into Alabama this morning, right about there, as we'll see that Purses Mills, even over around Gaston a little bit this morning. And as we go up through here, you guessed it, Knoxville's got more fog this morning. Greg has made it in with his red shirt. He's ready for this Friday. Wide open. We'll be back. We're getting ready to make that pot of coffee and get you ready. We're about 5 minutes away from going live again as we'll bring in the morning shift. Won't you join us? Again, call a friend, wake them up, make them do something. We'll be back here. We'll tell you all the going-ons that happened yesterday. Meridian Airport didn't have any power. Rump row. It did happen, y'all. We'll tell you why coming up at the top of the hour. The gang is here. Julia, that girl, is off this morning. Where's she flying at, Greg?
Getting close to her favorite holiday.
It's her favorite holiday. She's practicing. She's in training, we hear.
Touchdown.
Touch and goes. Yeah. We'll be right back. Join us again. The Scotty Ray Report begins at 7 o'clock.